What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about set 3 of the Digimon trading card game. Now, we have talked about this a little while ago, now a few days back. I'll pop a link to that video in the description. We know a little bit about the set. We will probably have a quick reminder of what we know towards the end of the video. But the latest issue of V-Jump magazine has gone and been revealed over in Japan. And shout out to the lovely Cho Sugoi over on Facebook for showing us the images. And there isn't a huge amount here, let's be clear. There is not a huge amount here. We have a double page spread, and firstly you go, hey, there's a whole bunch of new cards at the bottom of the page. Are any of them big enough to translate? Can we get some lovely new information? And the answer is no. No, we can't get any lovely new information. Because the fact of the matter is, if you look at the bottom left there are actually 4 purple cards and 4 black cards, and they are just the 8 cards that were in that purple and black promo pack that I've told you about a couple of times. Again, I've done videos about those cards, I'll link it in the description. So unfortunately, there's nothing new there. Fun cards, don't get me wrong. Still waiting on my issue of Card Gamer to come along with that promo pack, fingers crossed. And then if you look at the bottom right, we've actually got the 4 alternate art cards that came around in that pack, which is being given away in tournaments in Japan at the moment. And actually, we've seen them already. And to be fair, 3 of them are from the starter decks. 1 of them's from New Evolution. So we don't actually have any new information there at all. What we've got is a lovely little spread of promo cards that have come out recently. Oh. Yeah, that's genuinely like a little bit disappointing. So we don't have any new cards. And we already knew the release date, and we already knew it was called Union Force. So what else do we know? And the answer is we have a little bit more information about game mechanics, and we've got a whole bunch that is just going to shake a whole bunch of stuff up. And this is kind of ridiculous. Now, I do need to give a massive, massive shout out here to Tari Igarus. Apologies for what is probably a terrible pronunciation. Because they've gone and very nicely, not only have they gone and named all of the Pokemon that we can see in the spread here, but they actually went and tagged me in it as well, just so that I've got access to the names. As I've said in multiple videos, I'm not a Digimon expert. Over on PTCG Radio, when I do videos about Pokemon, I kind of am a Pokemon expert. And on this channel, when I do videos about Marvel Champions, I don't know if I can call myself a Marvel expert, but I've been reading Marvel comics for over a decade. I would call my Marvel knowledge pretty extensive. Digimon? I'm learning. I'm here as a card game analyst, learning about Digimon and frankly enjoying it. I don't have the extensive Digimon knowledge that some other people have. And you want to know a secret? That ain't such a bad thing. Because there's plenty of people out there making awesome videos about the Digimon, really focusing in on the lore, and I can be here to really focus in on the card game and comparing it to other card games, looking at mechanics, bringing me card game expertise, and learning about Digimon as we go. And I think that's pretty gosh darn nice. So anytime I know this happens a lot, the Facebook group is full of really lovely, wonderful people. I cannot say enough great things about the wonderful people over on the Facebook group. It is a lovely place. Come on in, the water's fine. So thank you to everyone that always helps me out in that regard. And apparently we've got Blitzgreymon, Kokomon, Terriermon, Lilithmon, Mastermon, Paildramon, Stingmon, and XVmon. Nice. Now, I have very little to add about each of those particular Digimon. If you're fans of them, you're probably rather delighted at this stage, and if you're not fans of them, you're probably not. But still, this is pretty gosh darned cool. But what we do have is 3 little bullet points that give us extra information about the game moving forward and tell us more about the Digimon trading card game and how it's going to work. So what do we have? And what we have, point number 1, apparently says a large number of Digimon have emerged that can evolve from both colours. The choice of evolutionary sources will increase, so the range of strategies will broaden. Oh. Now, of course, Digimon that can evolve from multiple different colours is not that new, because we actually had one of these in New Evolution, the very first expansion we ever got. We had Omegamon, and Omegamon was a level 7, and this was really, really cool. This was a Digimon that was white, but could evolve from either a red level 6 or a blue level 6. And first of all, this was really, really powerful, but of course, from a mechanics standpoint, I love that we've got Digimon that can evolve from 2 different types, because now any red deck can drop a surprise Omegamon, and any blue deck can drop a surprise Omegamon, which means that you've got to be prepared as a player for a wider range of strategies, and it means that as a deck builder, you have a wider range of options. You've got more different things that you can do. That is kind of redonkulous. And we saw the same thing in Ultimate Power with Millenniummon. Millenniummon came through as a level 7 that could evolve from either a black or purple Digimon. In my initial video, I did say it could evolve from a blue Digimon. Clearly that was dumb. Firstly, I should have known it was black and purple because they were the 2 new colours in Ultimate Power. That made the most amount of sense. But also, I should have checked. Blue and purple, I'm colourblind. These things happen, ladies and gentlemen. These things happen. Now, it says a large number of Digimon, and that's kind of interesting. Up till now, we've had Millenniummon that was one of the super rares, and we have had Omegamon that was one of the super rares. We've had 1 super rare per set that can evolve from 2 different colours, and it seems like they are going to drastically increase this, which I frankly am absolutely delighted about. This sounds kind of awesome. Now, point 2, we do have a note here from Audi Reza, and I believe it is something along the lines of, aside from the Digimon that can evolve from 2 colours, Digimon with the effect that enable them to become 2 colours will also appear. So it seems like, as well as having Digimon that can evolve from multiple colours, we might be having multiple colour Digimon. Now, remember that the main point of this from a card game standpoint is going to be, from a mechanic standpoint, firstly, extra evolutions, because any red-blue Digimon can evolve into the next stage. You know, a level 3 red-blue Digimon could evolve into a level 4 red or level 4 blue, which is kind of ridiculous. It would be kind of like the opposite of things like Millenniummon, except much, much wider, because obviously there are many, many more Digimon you can evolve into, which is very, very cool. But also, option cards. Remember the rule, if you want to play a red option card like Gaia Force, you've got to have a red Digimon on the field at that moment. Well, or Tamer. Well, the good news is that this will then give you 1 Digimon that will allow you to play 2 different colours of option cards. That seems kind of awesome. I don't know if we've had complete confirmation about this. It was always going to happen one day. It's inevitable. We've seen double Pokemon in the Pokemon TCG, as in 2 different types. And we've seen this in a bunch of other card games. It's kind of inevitable. At some point, they will bring in dual colours. Digimon that count as 2 different colours at the same time. That was always going to happen. Seems like it's happening here, which is kind of cool. Now, the last point we seem to have here is about security Digimon. Remember I mentioned earlier that security Digimon are on the way. Not actually the last point, but something we do need to mention. We've seen up till now that there are security effects on Tamers and option cards, though not all Tamer cards have had them. And essentially, when these come out as security cards, something happens. Well, the great news is that we have, it seems, security Digimon coming in here. Somebody is suggesting that essentially what's going to happen is there's going to be a skill and then the Digimon is going to be put into play. Again, I don't think we have confirmation about this, so take it with a pinch of salt. Either way, it does seem to mention security Digimon, and that is pretty gosh darned awesome. And the actual final point, some people are suggesting that this is confirming that, and I'm sorry for the pronunciation here, I'm probably going to say it terribly, but Jogress Evolution is going to be a thing. Now, I've gone and had a look at dmowiki.com, the Digimon Masters Wiki, and they explain it as a form of evolution that requires 2 or more Digimon to proceed to the next level. So essentially what we'd be talking about here is taking 2 different Digimon and evolving the pair of them into 1 Digimon. Which of course would mean that you now had fewer Digimon on the field, fewer Digimon that you were allowed to evolve, blah blah blah. But it would also presumably mean that if you're going to the effort of evolving 2 Digimon into 1 Digimon, that would presumably suggest that those Digimon you evolve into are gonna be awesome. Now, it is of course interesting to note that Omegamon that we've already seen is one of these, and obviously doesn't use that mechanic because it was around before Jogress evolution was a thing. But it is something that we do need to have a little bit of a bear in mind. Either way, it sounds like we're getting a bunch of new mechanics. It doesn't sound like we're getting any new colours like we did in Ultimate Power, but it definitely seems like we're going to be getting a whole bunch of extra stuff, and that's kind of awesome. Also, I believe I may have said the name of the set wrong at one point. It is Union Impact, not Union Force. Union Force is the name of a recent Dragon Ball Super set, which is actually being made by Bandai. So, I'll be honest with you, that's actually, well, that's kind of annoying. Can we have different set names? There we go. Now, according to GameAcademia.com, we do have a release date of the 10th of October. So we got a little bit of a wait for this. We've got about a month and a half before this set actually comes out. But it does mean we should start seeing some spoilers for this rather soon, to be honest with you. So that's something to look forward to. For now, I want to know what you think about all of these new mechanics and all of that stuff. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at @TheWossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And do please consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.